that was a great unboxing, man.
Cool.
You know, for everybody that don't know, we just did an unboxing video on the last one. I don't know which one will be up first, but man,
probably the unboxing needs to be on first there.
Yeah,
Just let
EP.
our
Yeah, we definitely need to do that, because if not, they won't know what we're talking about for this video.
So K-pop, make sure you get that
You
done.
big dummy, as Fred Sanford would say.
And then people out there go, who's Fred Sanford?
Yeah, fish eye fool. But yeah, Elizabeth, this is a big one. I'm surprised you didn't do that with these 7-0s. I would have. I would have went into it. So yeah, I think let's just jump right into the next video here, because I think this is going to be a good educational video for a lot of comic collectors.
Yeah, definitely for sure, because we always get people come in and they don't understand the CGC process. Yeah. Well, it's the biggest thing is they first come in, and if they haven't been in comics in a while, they look around and they're like overwhelmed.
Yeah,
they're like, you know, they look around and go, hey.
And it can be.
Yes.
It can be very overwhelming. So let's go ahead and introduce this, and let's get going.
All right. Cool. So we are here at the Drawings There for another episode of Comics, Couches, and Commentary. Actually, Couches, Comics, and Commentary. It's the same thing. CCC.
Same thing.
Triple
C.
Yeah, Triple C. So we always got Triple C when you, Chris Fields, and Chris Adams here. So Triple C there. So anyways, we're going on tangents, and Quincy would be going,
Stay on point. Stay on point.
When I was gone, you and Mike were just all over the place.
Stay on point.
But anyways,
we love Quincy.
Yes, we love that guy. So we're gonna try to educate you guys on comics. So like I said, you come in here, you're overwhelmed, or you go to any comic store, especially when you go to a convention.
Oh yeah.
I mean, my first convention, I was just like,
oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, and I think the biggest thing is what we need to talk about is from, not just coming into the store, but just comic book collecting as a whole, and even go into a little bit of, like you said, conventions, and not getting taken advantage of.
Yes,
and,
for sure.
And being educated, right? Because there are some people out there that will take advantage of you.
Yep. Knowledge. For sure.
Just like in any collecting business.
Yep.
You have the opportunity to get taken advantage of. So what we want to make sure of is that you guys are educated on what comics, what comic collecting is, what resources you have out there for you, as well as, just figuring out what you're into. Yes. So we did take some notes. I'm just literally using the sticky for reference, but when it comes down to it, let's just talk about comics as a whole and just collecting and what it means to just collect comics.
Yes, my take on the collecting is you buy what you like.
Amen.
That's the biggest thing. So many people come in and they're wanting to invest, which is cool, because comic books are sometimes investment faster than going on Robinhood or whatever.
Or stocks.
You can get a comic book like one came out with X Factor 10.
Yeah.
Came out on Wednesday, $3.99, already selling by $20 by the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that can happen. But my advice, because I've done this for so long, if you come in just to invest and there's no enjoyment, then that's what you get. Yeah. You get an investment. And after
it becomes a job.
Yes. And after 2 months, I've seen it happen.
You get burned out.
People go, they look at man, I spent too much in comic books.
Yeah.
I'm done.
And then they want to try to sell them back.
Yes.
And you're never going to get what you bought them for if they're not worth a lot of money. I mean, it's just like a used car, right? Or you buy a new car. You buy a new car at the lot, what do they say? It depreciates
right when you drive
off the lot. Yep. It's the same with comic books.
Yep.
And so there's a couple of things I agree with you 100%. Number one, buy what you like. And I would say be patient to find what you like.
It sounds like we're talking to Rusty.
Yeah, it does. It does. Rusty, be patient, okay? You don't need to go for that 8-0.
All right? I've been sending videos last night. We were talking and sent him a friggin' Axl Rose, and he sent it back. He's like, oh, my God, see mine.
So when it comes down to it, come in here, look at the new comics. Yes. Look at just find something you like to read, and then start there. You don't have to buy 500 comic books when you come into the store.
Nope.
We would be happy if you bought one comic book that you actually enjoyed. And I think that's what we ask people to do. Just come in there, find what you like. We have a lot of people that are here every day that can show you or tell you about stories, because we pretty much read all of them for the most part. We read all the comics. We know what the story is. We know what it's about. Find out what you're into. If you're into sci-fi, get sci-fi comics.
Yep.
Exactly. If you're into superheroes, get superhero comics. But man, there's such a variety nowadays.
Yeah, horror,
oh my God.
There's horror. Independent
comic book publishers.
Horror.
Yeah, horror. there are so many different genres out there now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
it's like a
there is
TV show.
something
It's
for
like
everybody.
it's like clicking on the cable. You're
It's
sitting
like
and
cable,
it's
yeah.
different things everywhere.
So once you find what you like,
Yes.
and now you're buying a series that you like, unfortunately, it happens. That series will die off.
Yes.
And they may do a spin-off of that series. And now you got something you like and this spin-off, which is something you like as well.
Yep.
So now you're going to find yourself buying more comics. Eventually, those comics may go up in price.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Exactly.
there are a lot of different resources you guys can use for comic book collecting.
Yep. CLZ Comics.
Number one is CLZ Comics. It is it's free.
It's free.
But
free?
it is free to put some comic books in.
Yeah, and
but
it's
once you get to a certain amount of comics, I believe you have to.
How much is it, right? $1 a
Oh,
month.
yeah, it's $1
$1 a month. And so what you do is it's an app.
Yep.
And everybody carries a phone because I see it.
And Ryder, our EP will put a picture of the app. up there as
I've
well.
seen people come in with their big lists, sheets of paper,
yeah.
or they'll come in and they go, I forgot my list. Well,
Or
guess what?
I can't remember if I have this comic.
So guess what? Everybody now carries their cell phone, and most time it's a smartphone.
And I have an iPhone that actually I have a comic folder that
Yes.
I put all my apps in. And
So-
CLZ Comics is that type of comic book app where you can put all of your comics in, and it'll even tell you the value of that raw comic.
Yep.
Understanding raw value.
And,
Okay?
and it's gonna go, and it's gonna be up or down, you know.
will be.
So it's one of those things.
will be.
It's just a guide. It's a guide. It doesn't say it's a price guide. It guides you.
But the
on what
good
it could
thing
be.
is you can go to any of your comics, type it, and it'll tell you what you have of that comic. And it'll even tell you what your missing comics are. So if you have a series that you really like, you click on it, it'll tell you what you're actually missing in that series.
And
So-
you can actually put wants in there.
Yeah, you
wants,
can
stuff like
put
that.
wants and
You
all
can,
that.
I think it's pretty cool because one things that you can do is you can customize your comic as well.
Yep.
Which for me, I have so many raw comics. I just used mine mainly for my graded books.
Right.
So what I've done is you can customize each issue. And you can go in like the value, who it
Yep.
belongs to,
Yep.
if it's someone in your family or something like that. And then on top of it, you can take a picture of your own comic and put it on there.
Yeah, and for graded books, you can actually put the grade in there as
Yes,
well.
exactly, and sign books, stuff like that. It's actually really cool. Definitely a must, I think, if you're starting to get in there and you don't want to have to carry a list.
Right.
Because, like I said, you carry your phone
right there.
everywhere you go.
And it's $1 a month,
$1 a
guys.
month. That's
$1 a month.
$12 for a whole year.
Yeah,
See,
$12 for
I'll
the
be
whole
honest
year.
with you. I was grandfathered in.
Yeah.
But I also don't get a lot of stuff that you guys get.
That's true.
Like
true.
you guys get the price guide where it
Right.
updates everything
Right.
and stuff like that. Mine is from way
Yeah.
back where I don't get that. I can scan my stuff.
Right.
But, you know.
And that's another good thing about this app, like you're saying. You can even scan the barcode.
Yes, the barcode.
So literally just go bleep and, I've already got that comic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Or
a
add it.
great app.
Or
add it by scanning it on the barcode. Once you have a good collection and you're tracking your collection in CLZ, then now you may graduate from comic collecting from raw books, like I did, to CGC books.
Yes.
So talk about just what CGC is, what they do.
So, yeah, I guess you can talk to me since I've got
Yeah.
close to 400 now.
Yeah. You
So,
got a lot of CGC
I got a lot of
books.
CGC books. So,
Too many.
yeah, yeah, you get that point. But so CGC books are graded books. What we mean by grading is everybody out there goes, hey man, my book's near mint. My book's my book's fine.
Very
my
good
book's
or
stuff like
good.
that. So everybody has their own opinion on the book.
Yes.
Chris's near mint may be different than mine. Mine could be very fine.
Right.
So what the industry did was a company came out. CGC was the first one, and they decided to do kind of what baseball cards do. They took a book
Yep.
and they sent it through grading, and they've got like at least 2 people who look at the book, and they
Yeah.
go from the cover to all the
As
inside,
well as quality
all
control.
the way back. I mean everything. They look at this book, and they all look at the page quality, all kind of
Yep.
stuff, and then they get an average between the 2 or 3 guys who've looked at the book,
Yep.
and then they give you a grade.
And depending on the value of the book, really is how many people look at it.
Yes,
too.
exactly.
So if it's a modern book, it may only be two
Yes.
people look at it and they move on. But if it's a ASM 14, like this book, which has a little bit higher value, they may have 3 people look at the book.
Yes, for
It
sure.
just depends on the value. And then of course it comes back with a grade.
A grade. Now, the grading is important because, like I said, it's between me and Chris sitting here going,
Yeah.
"Hey, my
think-
near minutes and this now there is
industry standard.
an industry standard, and that's it. So it's 7.0 to 7.0. That's it.
Right.
You can never get cheated
Right.
by some dealer going, "Oh man, it's in poor condition."
So with that though, the price goes up.
Yes.
So if I bought this book, what we call raw, which is not graded, it may cost me $1,000. Let's just say $1,000. But then I send this book in to get graded, which does cost money.
Yes, that's cost.
It costs, I think, around $65 to $70 if you do it through the Dragon's Lair, depending on the tier.
And even the tier like this one tier was about $100 to $120 just to do.
So it could be like $100, $120 to get it graded. However, once it comes back in this beautiful 7.0 case with its Spider-Man label, the value more than doubles.
Yes.
On this book, right? Because what you're buying here is a guaranteed 7.0.
Yep.
You know that is the grade of this book, right? Whereas raw is subject to whoever is looking at the book.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's very good. Well, no, it's a 7.0.
Yeah.
That's better than very good. So
Slightly.
So when it comes down to it, it's really all about you grade a book not just to increase the value, but to protect the book.
Yes, for sure.
Right now, it's in a plastic case inside. It's actually got another case
another
inside,
case.
and it's, I believe,
Inner
it's
shell.
vacuum sealed,
Yeah,
right?
and
it's
inner
vacuum
shell.
sealed. And now, can light still affect these comics? A lot of
Yes.
people say that. Yes, they can. So if you display it on your wall and your window and the sun's coming in, will this comic fade?
Yes.
Yes, it'll fade.
But they do have like things that you can buy.
They do.
The UV coats that you can put
Yep.
on it.
So it's not saying you can't display your comics, because a lot of people do want to display their comics, but it can affect it. Now, if something happened to your case and you had to send it back in and you had it displayed and light hit it for a while, the grade could go down. So just be careful. But CGC is a good way. Now, let's say you want to buy a CGC book, Bernie. What options do we have available for us to look up pricing?
You could look up the one I use is GP analysis.
Yep.
And what
It's a website.
Yeah, what they do is they take all of the
eBay.
eBay. Is it eBay prices?
It's eBay
and
pricing.
is it just eBay or is it Comics Link? Too?
I believe it's just eBay and auction.
Okay.
Auction sites.
Yeah. So basically,
Well, correct me if I may be wrong.
you start looking at it and you're like, oh, and it gives you a year analysis.
90-day average
and
the last
and
sale.
a 30-day average
Yeah,
in the
30
last
average
sale.
sale.
And it's pretty cool because, like you said, there's guides out there, there's all kinds of stuff. But man, to be honest, what is a book really worth? It's what someone's willing to pay. So if they're on eBay and they're willing to pay,
Price guide over there real quick.
they're willing to pay like $500 for it.
Right.
That's really what the book is worth.
That's right.
I mean,
And
even though the book could be like saying it's $1,000, it's only paying $500.
So you said a key word there, and that's what the market says it's
Yes,
worth.
exactly.
Right. So the comic book community, we set our own pricing essentially.
sure do,
Right. Now there are a lot of outside influences that affect pricing,
Yes.
but when it comes down to
What's
it,
called the MCU.
yeah, it's called the MCU and HBO Max and DC
Yeah.
and whatever else. We mentioned pricing. Obviously, Overstreet puts out a comic book price guide, and I can tell you I've tried to use it and I hate it.
Fuck school! Fuck all this bullshit! What the fuck? The fuck?
I absolutely hate it.
You gotta be old like me to go.
I would literally rather go to
eBay.
eBay sold prices. I mean, because let's be honest, this once it's printed is outdated.
Exactly. Yep.
Once this is printed, it's outdated. So everything's at our fingertips now, guys.
Yep,
I
exactly.
mean, this is great if you want to look up maybe something from 1947, and maybe the value's still the same. I don't know. And I'm sure if you surf through this enough, that'd be great. But
They call it a price guide.
we have the internet now, so I'm going to put this over here. And GPA Analysis, great website. It is a website. It is a subscription base as well, and it's actually out of the UK, believe it or not.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's out of the United Kingdom.
that.
Yeah, it's out of the United Kingdom.
Is there like an American one that can switch to that?
I wish, but no. I would hope that somebody would come up with something better than that, but we'll see. So we talked about pricing, though. I don't want to get too far off track. And that brings me to specking a little bit.
Oh,
right?
yes.
So there's an app out there that everybody uses, I think, nowadays.
Everybody.
Called Key Collector.
Key Collector.
Right? Great app. Wonderful, wonderful app. And I love that they continuously update the app. They're
Yes,
always
for sure.
doing stuff to it.
Every day. You got
Every day. There's
you know,
something else.
They've got a daily updates.
They do. They have daily updates. They have key alerts that you'll get.
Yep.
You actually get on your phone where it says, hey, this book made it to the top 10 list, or this character is confirmed for this show. I believe the guy that runs the app, I believe his name is Mark.
I think so.
And
Mark
phenomenal job on this app. However, I kind of call it a spec app.
It is, for sure.
Right? For sure, a spec app.
yeah.
In fact, they even have a category for spec.
Well, pretty much the whole thing is like
the whole thing
respect.
is pretty much spec.
I mean, the whole.
Now the hot 10 list is mainly based on what people are buying. Okay,
Yes.
so I can say that's based on what they're buying. But they do have what's called the spec deck.
Hot keys, spec deck.
Right.
And
So
dollar
hot
bin dollar.
keys are typically what's significantly gone up in price.
Yes.
That's selling faster and hotter than it was. The spec deck is more, this may be coming to the MCU. This may be coming to HBO Max.
So, you pay for it. I don't pay for it. So
Yeah.
mine are locked.
Yeah. So I have all the good ones. But it's great too because they have different categories, like these are all the 2021 first appearances.
Yes, that's what's kind of cool.
And you
about
can look at that, and it's great for the comic book store because that app, you go, oh, maybe I need to pull these.
Yep.
You know, maybe I need to pull these books.
But you know,
And
it happens. I've seen it happen here where we don't catch it,
We
but
don't
someone
catch it.
comes
Somebody
in
else will
and
catch
they're
it.
like, look,
Yeah.
oh,
And now they get this book that may be a $30 book. They get it for $4.99.
Yep.
You know, so I mean, it works out great for collectors as well. Ultimately, there are a lot of different resources out there that you
Yes,
can
for
use
sure.
for comic book collecting. I want to go back to the very first thing that Bernie said before we close out the video. Collect what you like.
yes, for sure.
That's the key. Don't chase the dragon, as they would say. Unless you want to chase it down here to the dragon's lair. But don't chase the dragon as far as, you know, getting onto trends and things like that. I was subject to that, right? And Bernie was the one that kind of went, all right, you know, maybe you want to narrow your focus here.
He was a Matina fan.
I
He
was.
wanted
I was a
every
huge Matina
Matina
fan.
cover.
I did.
Even
I didn't know he was stealing them.
He's stealing. Oh, he's stealing. He's stealing.
even after he started he was stealing. He was like, oh, I still like him.
I still like the art, and I really do. I love the art.
We
He
just
is a great
now
artist.
we just like, I wonder where this came from.
Yeah. Now we just go, who'd he steal this from? But I did, but that's what I liked, right?
Yes,
and
exactly.
I was good
That's
with
what
that.
you- and I have no problem with that.
But then I got into it a little bit more, started coming to the shop more.
start
and
changing.
I
You
started changing what I like.
Your likes, your investment wise. I mean, you
Right.
still like the new books.
Yeah.
But then you start going, hey, man, I just paid $300 for this variant cover,
Right.
which now is probably dropped
Yeah,
significantly.
exactly.
So
So that's what you got to be careful of, is you pay a lot for variants, and they could go up or they could go down in value.
yes,
You know, it all depends on, first of all, who's the artist, number
Mm-hmm.
one. For a while, Matina covers were crazy expensive. And now, of
And-
course, you can get them out of the dollar bin, you know?
until he got caught.
But there's some people like Jenny Frizen
Yes.
or Adam Hughes or, gosh, I could go on and on and on. But those artists, you know, Scotty Young,
yes,
another one. You know, those artists continuously put out good work, and their covers are amazing, and they keep going up in value. So that's where the variant game, you know, is okay if you're just chasing an artist.
and if you like the variants, cool. But
Right,
you know,
yeah.
just expect to pay. But don't expect for that book to always stay up in value.
Exactly.
That's the
so
biggest thing.
you collect it because you like that artist, not because you want to make money
Yeah.
per se. And that, I guess, that brings us to the last thing: is can you make money in comics? I would say yes. We have a comic book store and we make money. However, as an individual collector, we have some people that love collecting comic books and love getting books graded just to put up on their wall because they look beautiful and they are beautiful works of art. I mean, this is a Steve Ditko work of art. It is. But there are some people that will say, man, this is a pretty book. I wonder how much I can sell it for.
Yes.
Right? And those, what we call flippers.
Yeah.
Right? They're flippers. They're out there, and some of them will take advantage of you and some of them won't.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You got to be very careful. That's why we give you these guys these tools to be able to look up pricing, what they're going for, what they're selling for now. Now, I know this video is running long, and I apologize. But when it comes down to it, I would say, when should I sell and when should I not, Bernie?
When it's hot.
Yeah.
When it's hot, I guess right now, these books like Something That's Killing Children, very hot.
It's an amazing title.
Would probably be one of those things to sell now.
Yeah. So let's say, and the reason he's bringing that up is because this show was optioned for Netflix,
or it's close to.
It was optioned, then it wasn't optioned, then it is optioned, now it may be optioned. If you're looking to buy books like this to sell, like we are at a comic book store, then you got to know when to put them on the shelf and have them come off the shelf.
Know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, right? And if you have a question about grading comics or anything about comic collecting, just come by the store.
Yep, for sure.
Come by the store. Talk to everybody that works here. Everybody knows what's going on.
We're not going to charge you for advice. Cause
No,
that's
absolutely
not.
not. We want you to be able to enjoy the hobby and have fun. So please take the time to look at those apps. Yes, they do cost a little money, but if you're into comic collecting, well worth the money.
For sure.
So thanks for tuning in, everybody. And as Bernie always says,
It's all about the comic community. And we'll talk to you soon. God bless. Bye-bye.
take care.